Man, Raising Dion is the cutest little show. You know what? I really enjoyed this show. Raising Dion is about a single mom living in Atlanta who just recently lost her husband, who happens to be Michael B. Jordan, and she's also dealing with raising her 7-year-old son on her own. Being a single parent is hard enough, not to mention just recently losing your husband, and then you're trying to raise a kid on your own. And this kid can make Fruit Loops fly through the air. The kid has superpowers. Like, this lady's life is a living wreck. I don't want to spoil it for people who haven't seen it. So I'll just kind of list some of the pros and cons of what I thought about the series. The biggest pro for me is Josiah Young. Josiah Young is the kid who plays Dion, who finds out that he has superpowers. I've seen a lot of reviews and some people saying, oh, he's aggravating. They should have found a better kid actor. But I like Josiah. Like, he reminded me of my little brother. Like, he's just your normal 7-year-old kid. He likes comics and playing video games, and he knocks stuff over at times. So I was really impressed with Josiah. Like, from the first episode, I liked him. Some people didn't like him. I've seen some reviews saying they had to warm up to him, but I'm all for Josiah. This is a family show, so that's pro number 2. I think you can sit down with your whole family and watch this, like kids as little as 2 years old. My grandmother sat and watched it with me. Like, we binged it the whole day Saturday. We just knocked it out. So it's a good family show. They do touch on some heavy topics at times. Without spoiling it, they just kind of touch on some things that we're dealing with in today's climate. I still think they do it in a not so abrasive way where you want to like make your kids run out of the room, but they do touch on some real world topics in here. So another good thing about the show is I felt like it really embodied the culture. Alicia Wainwright, who plays his mom, she went to Spelman. Michael B. Jordan, he went to Morehouse. So little subtle nods at like the culture sprinkled in there. You got a mom and son riding in the back listening to Mary J. Blige.
So you got, I don't see you dancing.
Don't need no hateration, holleration in this dancery.
The mom's sister, she's a doctor, which is, good in Atlanta. Atlanta is like the mecca of Black success at the moment. So you can find Black doctors, Black scientists, which is what his father was. So I like how it showcased, the culture in a good way. My final pro is mental health. This show did a really good job showcasing like Dion's mom in a constant state of anxiety and showing how some people deal with trauma. Like, she loses her husband and she just has a lot going on. And at first I was getting aggravated at how anxious she was the whole show, but then I had to kind of take a step back and say, this is how certain people deal with trauma, or this is how certain people really have nervous breakdowns, and we just kind of watch it happen. So I kind of like how they touched on, didn't touch it, like they took it head on, mental health and dealing with trauma or the death of someone passing away. So the cons. All right, so like I'm a big Marvel fan, so I'm used to seeing big budget productions, and I had to realize that this was a lower budget series. So as I'm watching it, some of the special effects, I can kind of see them happening. So that kind of threw me off a little bit, and that was a little con for me. But then I had to tell myself, like, this isn't like a big budget show. So I had to lower my expectations a little bit, and I was able to kind of ease into it a little bit more and just tell myself to kind of calm down. The next con would be the story drags a little bit at first to me. I really had to kind of push myself through episode 1 and 2. But once you get past episode 1 and 2, like it reminds me of Game of Thrones, how you have to kind of push yourself through Game of Thrones, and then once you're in it. Raising Dion is like that. Like once you're in it, like you want to see what's going to happen with this kid and these superpowers and all the mystery around the show. So that's just a con. It was just a little slow the first 2 episodes. The third con is, and I hate to touch on it, but I feel like I have to, is the colorism topic. So when the pitch trailer for Raising Dion came out, the trailer was with a dark-skinned mom and a dark-skinned son. So we were excited when we seen it, because rarely do you see dark-skinned people in lead roles. So we were excited when the pilot first hit and we all kind of seen it. Michael B. Jordan eventually picked it up to produce it. And then we got the official trailer. So the official trailer shows light-skinned mom, brown-skinned son. So, of course, there was a small black backlash with the change, because we always deal with colorism. It's been in Hollywood for years. They want the fair-skinned black person if we are going to be in these shows. So that was distracting for me at first. But after I got past episode 2, like I kind of forgot about it. You know, even though it's important, I kind of let it go because the show was getting good. So I just kind of threw the colorism thing out and really just accepted Alicia Wainwright for the character that she was put in. You know, it's not her fault that it was wrote for a dark-skinned character. She auditioned and she got it. So I had to kind of get that out my brain to kind of let that go and really enjoy the show. So that's just my quick little review for Raising Dion. I give it a 7 out of 10. I really liked it. 7 is good for me. I really, really liked it. And I think everyone should watch it. Everyone should give it a chance. And let's all view it so season 2 can get picked up. And this is how we get representation. You know, we have to support these projects. We want to be featured and showcased as, you know, people of color. So we got to support this. And even people who are not of color, support it, because it's really just a cute little decent show. I think with a little more funding, next season could be great. So we just got to support it and push it, and hopefully it gets picked up. If not, I appreciate Netflix for even giving it a platform to showcase on, because I enjoyed it. I like Raising Dion. So that's all I have for today. Check it out. It's a good little show.